What's the highest you would take Carter Bryant? Would you take him as high as 8?
The next prospect that we are talking about today, Steven, Arizona's Carter Bryant. Stats don't jump off the page, much like Drake Powell, but my lord, the eye test is in love with this kid. 6.5 points per game, 4.1 rebounds per game, 1 assist per game, shot 58.2% from inside the three-point line, 37.1% from deep, 1 block per game as well. What is it about Carter Bryant that makes him what feels like a surefire lottery pick and possibly a surefire top 10 pick?
He's probably the best balanced of the 3 names that I'm bringing to today's pod. And while not giving up any leverage on the defensive end of the floor amongst those 3 players either, I think all 3 will project out and literally end up being top-level defenders in multiple respects based off of the skills and the athleticism that they bring unique to their dynamic. Carter's also, like I mentioned, not to ignore the offensive side, but on that side of the floor, also a good 3-point shooter.
Yeah, smooth 3-point shooter.
In a very complimentary way, where he's probably my favorite part about his game. The defense, of course, but on offense, the quick decision-making. He gets the ball, he's ripping and going, he's moving it to another person, or if he's off the ball, he's cutting. He understands how to create advantage. And I think that if we're talking about, like I talked about earlier with Jordan Ott, what I'm hoping to see from his offense is dynamic spacing, not static spacing where you have 5 players spaced around the court and someone that starts in one spot might end up finishing the possession at that same spot because of the principles established. I don't imagine that's what Ott's going to have going on, and Carter Bryant aligns directly with that.
Yeah. Wow Factor says Carter is a risk. Andre says, I don't know about taking guys from U of A in the lottery anymore.
What's the highest you would take Carter Bryant? Would you take him as high as 8 as you would with Newell? Yeah.
All right. This is going to hurt.
Go ahead and Woosah, do what you got to do.
He's no longer a member of the University of Arizona, so I can say this. I think Carter Bryant is going to be damn good in the NBA. 6'8", 225, great wingspan, incredible instincts, has all the tools to be a really good defensive talent, a switchable point of attack defender, somebody that can get down into the paint, match up with somebody who's a little bit bigger than him, quick enough to guard on the perimeter as well. Yep. The 3-point shot is not exactly where you would want it to be, and the free throw percentage is just under 70% as well. But the jump shot itself looks smooth. Fundamentally, there is nothing broken about it either. When you watch him play and he hits it, it makes sense. He hit just over 1 per game on less than 3 attempts, so 37%. It's something, not a high volume shooter, but he did hit it. Also, the 70% on free throws was on 1.6 free throw attempts per game. He also averaged almost a steal per game as well. Came up in big moments in the tournament as well. I think that if you're at 10, let's say you trade up and you get your pick back from the Houston Rockets at 10, and some of the other players that we're going to talk about later that I have really high on my draft board that go in the top 10 are gone, I would be thrilled if the Suns drafted Carter Bryant.
So you would take him at 8?
I'd take him at 8. I would take him at 10. And if he dropped, I would trade up for him. And if you want a stamp of approval for a kid, just know that I say that completely begrudgingly and that I hate him. But I'm calling a spade a spade. This is the Suns show. This isn't the ASU show. He is a damn good basketball player, and I think he is a worthy top 10 pick.
One of the player comps that I saw for him, and this is one that definitely resonates with me, for players that have helped to take teams from being good to being championship winning, Trevor Ariza. Now, if you think about...
Don't say that name around here.
Yeah, I know.
That's
and that's
tough.
why I'm going to dive into what I'm diving into. So if you think about him in his latter years, your assessment of Trevor Ariza's impact is going to be skewed. But if you think about him in his years from his first season with the Houston Rockets to his time with the Lakers in particular, you see a player that is a glue piece, just a time-on-tasker, a blue-collar guy. You need him to do something, he can do it on the defensive end. He's taking on matchups 1 through 3, sometimes at 4. And in a modern sense, Carter Bryant is going to be guarding 5s at times when he gets to the NBA level. On the offensive end, you have someone with high IQ off the ball, doesn't need it in his hands to have impact. 50-50 ball, second chance opportunities, he can go and find those because of his size and his preemptive decision making. Great cutter, sensational cutter. Also a 3-and-D type of player. So you give him catch and shoot 3-point opportunities, which Carter Bryant would get a ton of off of Devin Booker. That's exactly the type of position he would be in.
His ceiling is just the ultimate prototypical, not even just 3-and-D. There's a little bit more than that.
I don't want to put him in the box.
Athletic 3-and-D wing that can guard all 5 positions and hit threes. Now, does he hit that ceiling? It's tough, for sure. He's very, very raw. He has a lot that he needs to work on as far as each individual skill, but I do think that he has the ability to do that. Yep. We have Brent in the chat saying Yegor Demon, which is how you pronounce his name. It's not Igor Demon, which I wish it was. Should 100% be our pick. Tall, smart, good in transition. He has to be our pick at 10. We are going to be talking about the Demon Man later on this show. We've got a couple more names before we get there, though. Any final thoughts on Carter Bryant?
I don't think it would hurt to also have a local kid that just got done with the tenure at one of the universities. Maybe not Erik's favorite per se, but
the wrong university.
to have done well at said university as well. Yeah. That would be a way to kind of help bridge the gap with some fans as well.
I like what Leo said. Imagine Carter Bryant and Ryan Dunn on the court together. I do think that the offensive ceiling with Carter Bryant is high enough that those two could share the floor together, and a 3-4 of that with another versatile center defensively is very intriguing. And if that center can shoot threes, then we're talking about one hell of a 3-4-5 around Devin Booker.
We all silly like the mayor.